All right, hey gang, Nate Bear here, lead technical tactician for Monument Traders Alliance and Trade of the Day. And in today's video, we'll just do a quick update of the indexes. And I want to show you a chart that I'm looking at for entry this week. All right, so let's just kind of start here with the SPY. Now, one thing that we talked about right last week was this +3 ATR reading on the SPY and how that's not quite really sustainable, and that when this happens, we always get a pullback, right? Not the easiest thing to necessarily time that pullback, but we always get a pullback. And here we go. Now we've pulled back to the 21 EMA, and now the market is sort of reset, right? We're no longer overbought. We've come back to test the mean, and we can kind of do whatever we want to do. And I think the majority of the move from here going forward, at least for the next several weeks, is going to be based off of earnings. We've got Google coming out tomorrow. Next week, we've kind of got the Super Bowl of earnings, which is, let me show you this. If you go to trading view earnings calendar right here, click on this link, you can go to this week's earnings. You can see everything for this week, and you can kind of sort look at that. You can kind of see here Google here. I'm not even sure what all that is, some alerts going off or something, but and then next week, really check this out. Next week, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, ExxonMobil, MasterCard, Procter & Gamble, Merck, Chevron, AMD, Qualcomm, T-Mobile, McDonald's, ARM, Caterpillar, Pfizer, Intel, right? I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. Big week next week for earnings. So this week, what I'm looking for is, it's just, I really think that the SPY probably is going to stay between last week's high and last week's low. I think we stay in a box here. I think we have some consolidation, maybe some sideways action. But, I think it's good. We've gotten our pullback cues, same sort of thing. We actually pulled back nearly to the 55. Very healthy, right? We were so extended on the cues. Now we've pulled back. And the one thing that I'm sort of being mindful of and watchful for is if this pattern sort of sets up like this, then all of a sudden, right, that could lead to a bigger decline. But right now, we don't have that yet. We've gotten, maybe a left shoulder, maybe a head, but we do not have anything even resembling a right shoulder yet. So patience and, just buying the dip still until the market tells me that that is no longer the case. One chart that I do like here quite a bit is Bitcoin. So we'll look at the Bitcoin futures. Now, the chart that I actually love here is this weekly chart in Bitcoin. We've got a weekly squeeze. It looks pretty constructive, and I think Bitcoin is probably on the verge of going and getting a new lifetime high up here. And then within that, this 78-minute squeeze looks awesome, right? So how do I play this? Because I'm not going to recommend buying Bitcoin futures or Bitcoin, the actual coin. So one of the proxies here is Mara, M-A-R-A. And Mara here has a beautiful 78-minute squeeze. We've got a beautiful 78-minute flag. We've got a squeeze of the momentum shift. We've got everything we need here. And one of the things I like about Mara is that it's got earnings coming up. So if we look at this daily chart, you can see here we've got earnings coming up on August 1st, so end of next week. And we can use that to buy some calls past earnings, and then use that to get some what I like to call premium protection, right? So we can buy some out of the money calls and not worry about the premium just completely eroding on us because of theta decay. So if we go and we look at Mara options, we can go out into next week here, right? So where are we at? We can go look at the next week. You can see the premium increases, and I think these $25 calls look slightly out of the money for our next week. So the 8-2, $25 calls in Mara. And let's drop a quick trade plan here on the 78-minute chart. So, entry would be somewhere in around this 21 EMA, around 24. So entry around 24. I would say a stop, if we kind of break down here and close, break below this gap. So stop under 22, and a target would actually be up here, new highs. So 27 plus. I'll get this all drawn up and included in the chart image, but that's kind of the plan. So again, using next week's 8 to $25 calls, looking for an entry around 24, stop under 22, and target of 27 or more. All right, that's what I've got for this week. I hope it helps, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good one.